Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we've got 3 races coming your way, kicking off here from Nashville Super Speedway, where we are getting closer and closer to playoff action, and we are still in a must-win scenario due to the poor start of this season if we want to make the playoffs. Now, I'm already looking mainly into next episode. Reason being, we've got 2 road courses on the way in the next episode at Lime Rock Park and Watkins Glen. Those are going to be 2 brilliant opportunities for us to find victory lane. However, I would love to find victory lane right here today in Nashville or one of these races. We've got Nashville coming, we've got Michigan, as well as Pocono. If you guys remember, ARCA, Michigan, our first career win in a NASCAR affiliated series. So can we maybe repeat history and, well, score our first Truck Series win maybe at Michigan as well today? Today is going to be an opportunity, and here in Nashville we actually qualified in the 10th position. So as well to note, our level 6 part truck, which we are going to be using in Michigan, I believe it's actually going to be worn out after that race. We can only get one more use out of those parts before we're going to actually have to buy some new parts. We got a new sponsor on the car, or on the truck, Horizon, as we should honestly get another sponsor in today's episode as well. We're starting to get some more sponsors onto this truck just to get some more funding into this top tier racing team to continue to increase our ability to have competitive trucks as well going into the playoffs. Now, as Nashville Super Speedway is underway here now, as it's going to be under the lights here later on in the evening, 11 laps in stage number 1. Now, we as well, as soon as hopefully next episode, are going to start entering conversations with an Xfinity team, potentially Sam Hunt Racing, so stay tuned on that, but we might be in some conversations with them for a potential ride next season, but I think we're going to have to really, prove we can win here in the Truck Series, and I mean, every episode we're getting closer to picking up a win, so I know we're not far away. I mean, a bit of a heartbreaker in Charlotte. I felt like we had a good opportunity to pull off a win there, and obviously Kyle Larson ends up sneaking the win on the fuel situation and everything, and overall a bit frustrating now as we continue to work our way forward to the inside of the 44 there. That's Bailey Curry in that number 44 as we head down this back straightaway side by side with him, and we come to lap 3 of 11 at this point already here in stage 1. We haven't really gone anywhere. Passing a bit difficult. This is not a fully upgraded truck, so I mean, it checks out now. Of course, we are in more of a level 4 truck here. I'm hopeful by the end of today's episode or next episode, we get a bit more funding to actually start getting some level 6 parts on both trucks instead of just focusing it all on one truck, because we're kind of in this situation where basically every other race, we've got a level 6 truck that can compete up front, and then we have to go back to this level 4 truck right here where we're still, I think, doing really well, running up towards the top 10, but you can see I'm not going forward, I'm going backwards. We're down to P12 behind Tanner Gray at this point, and I'm just trying to hang on and keep ourselves in a good position with a couple of laps remaining here in stage number 1 to the outside of that 15 of Gray in that Tricon Tundra into turn 1. We're going to run that middle lane. As you guys know, I love to run up further up the racetrack. Lane Riggs currently leading, another driver that's yet to win this season, but he's currently comfortably in the playoffs on points. He just has to hope that there's not enough different winners, or if there is going to be enough winners, he's going to be one of them as we come towards now approaching the final lap here of stage number 1, and we've gotten back up into P11 after passing Tanner Gray, and we're actually closing in on Bailey Curry, so the long run pace in this truck seems actually pretty good, and I kind of felt like this kind of higher running on the track was starting to make a difference here, but unfortunately we're going to come up short of stage points as Lane Riggs does take stage number 1. We'll come through to the line for a P11 result. A bit of work to do going into stage 2. By the way, these next few career mode episodes were recorded before the update went out for the pit adjustments, so you're not going to see any pit adjustments in this episode, the next episode, or the episode after that. So in 4 episodes from now, you'll see those pit adjustments come into effect as they make a big difference. Somebody had a bad pit stop. We move up to P10 here behind the 9 of Grant Enfinger now as we get ready to go back racing here from Nashville Super Speedway. Lane Riggs, stage 1 winner, leads the way here to kick things off, and the sun has already set. It has gotten very dark, and you kind of notice here, I talked about the night lighting recently and how it seems to look really good at, say, Charlotte, but back here in Nashville, it kind of goes back to the kind of foggy look, so it seems like it's kind of a track-by-track basis of where the night lighting sometimes looks pretty good, and then it also looks like this sometimes as well, as we head down into 3. Now down to P12 here, trying to get this third lane working here on the outside of Gio Ruggiero. We got a couple of Tricon drivers around us actually tagged the wall, unfortunately, but here we go now to the outside of Grant Enfinger by the time we came to lap 4, and we are actually 3 wide with him and Ruggiero, and we actually get forced into the wall. Enfinger leaves us no room, crashes himself down the back straight away, and he's going to go spinning. Wow, okay, not what I expected there. Enfinger just kind of plowed us into the wall, and he kind of paid the price. That is not on us by any means, as we would continue in towards a restart. So that takes some laps off of stage number 2 here as we get ready to go back racing. Now we got to survive here in Nashville and not do anything stupid, because after today our probation is also going to be over, which is going to be a welcomed surprise, and that is an incident that was not my fault, so that's not going to affect our probation by any means, fortunately. So we'll continue on. We also had, you know, the incident with Raja Karuth. Fortunately as well, that was deemed not our fault, so that did not affect our probation. We just got to get through tonight, and probation is no longer a factor for us here as we continue through 3 and off turn 4. The truck honestly felt pretty loose here in Nashville, and that was something I would have loved to have been able to adjust. I would have loved to have tightened up the truck a little bit, but by the time we come to 2 to go, we're still P12 fighting with Gio Ruggiero. Grant Enfinger is just behind us, back into the conversation now, but you can see as I go down into the corner, we just kind of bobble a little bit. We'll pass Ruggiero, maybe clear on the exit of turn 2. Now here comes Corey LaJoy up my inside though, so final lap in stage 2 through 3 and 4. LaJoy is going to pass us, and we drop down to 12th, just not what we need here in Nashville, as Lane Riggs takes both stages. We look to the inside of the 07 to the line. He'll hang on for P11, as we'll have to settle for the 12th position. Overall, I feel like we got a top 10 truck, and I think we just need a long run, which we didn't have. So we're going to make some repairs, which is the second of repairs, 4 tires, fuel, and we'll get ready for this third and final stage where we stay P12. Bailey Curry gained 2. LaJoy lost 4 spots in the pits. A poor pit stop there for the Spire 07 team as the green flag is back out again. The third and final stage of the Rackley 200 here from Nashville Super Speedway kicks off, and it's going to be 15 laps of racing. How much fuel do we have? 13 laps of fuel. Oh boy, that's going to make fuel pretty close here now, and that's the one thing about the truck series is with the 25% races running it on 4X fuel, some races fuel gets kind of close and it can kind of mess things up here, and because some drivers will try to stretch it. Well, I guess it doesn't mess it up. I mean, it's in everyone's option to try and stretch it to the end. We could very well try to stretch it to the end, but I don't think that's going to be the way to go for us here tonight as we push Bailey Curry here down the straightaway now as we come to lap 25. Lane Riggs has dominated this race so far. Now into turn number 1, he leads over Chandler Smith. Corey Heim dropping a little ways back. Kyle Larson's up there in the conversation, I believe, as we exit turn 2. Nice run to the back of Caden Honeycutt. Give him a little shove down this back straightaway. All of a sudden, finally, maybe a chance at a top 10 running spot as we get up to this third lane. Rip up top, and unfortunately wasn't quite enough until out of turn 2, we would get past Honeycutt for the 10th position. And now to the outside of Tanner Gray. Ty Majeski just in front of us as well into turn 3. Here we go. Himes actually dropped down into the 5th position. One thing I've noticed is, you can kind of mess with consistency and skill range to kind of get a bit of a different running order instead of the same guys winning all the time. The same guys still kind of run up front, but you can kind of change up the running order a little bit. So I highly recommend messing with skill range and consistency. Someone just came into the pits. I believe it was Chandler Smith. So pit stomp's already kicking off. We can go a few more laps, but we're coming up to 5 laps to go in this race, and I am not in a position to make it to the end. I have not saved any fuel whatsoever, and here we go. We got more drivers coming into the pits as well here, as it looks like just about everyone's kind of on the same page right now. Lane Riggs stays out. We got 5 laps to go. We got 3 laps to fuel. We fast forward to more drivers pitting, and now we're up to P4. Here comes Ben Rhodes. Heim is still on the track. Riggs is still on the racetrack as we're coming around other drivers that have already made their pit stops now. And here comes Corey Heim with 2 laps to go, and I am right now at 0 laps of fuel. I couldn't really pit, and then I actually start running out of fuel. Coming to the final lap, Lane Riggs is in, I'm in because I'm running out, and Bailey Curry Bailey Curry's still on the racetrack. Bailey Curry might actually win this race. We come into the pits on the final lap because we just didn't have enough for a splash and go 3-second pit stop. Riggs is already out on the racetrack. I don't know where we're going to cycle out here, P6, P7, maybe 9th or 10th, but Bailey Curry made it to the line. He's won. Bailey Curry's already crossed the checkered. He wins in Nashville, and he's in the playoffs. Lane Riggs absolutely robbed because of the tight field situation here in Nashville. We're going to get passed by Perez into turn number 3. We drop down to the 10th position. We're sliding off of turn 4. We're going to sacrifice the top 10 because there goes LaJoy and Honeycutt and Enfinger coming to the line. It's going to be P12 at the line, and Bailey Curry wins in Nashville, steals it on fuel mileage, saves enough fuel to make it to the end. Can you believe it? Wow. We end up 12th, and just not a race we were looking for. The Nice Motorsports team going to be happy, of course, with that result, as we'll focus in on now really having to win to get ourselves into those playoffs now. I mean, we were already in a must-win, but even more so now when a guy like Bailey Curry, who's not had a very good season, has won his way into the playoffs, and you can see it right here. He's going to be the last one in. He's only got 61 points on the season. Is he? I wonder. He's not a part-time driver, is he? Has he just been that bad? I wonder. He had a pretty good result going, I mean, even before the win there in Nashville. But, I mean, yeah, just not a good situation for a lot of guys as we come into Michigan now. And with a now level 6 fully upgraded truck at this point. And we actually qualified 10th again, just like Nashville. So this is a track where I'm confident, although we qualified 10th, I don't think we're going to stay in 10th. I think we're going to go forward. Corey Heim on pole position. This is a race I have circled. We got our first win here in ARCA. I'm confident we can have a shot to win this race. We're just going to have to focus in on being patient and just methodically moving our way throughout the field. We're back underway for some more action here from Michigan, and we start from row number 5 on the outside. A bit of a slow start there. The 19 of Hemrick's going to jump up in front of us into turn number 1, and we'll just roll through the corner, wait for the speed to kind of pick up. Now Majeski to my inside, and in ARCA when we won here, we also had a pretty poor qualifying effort and were able to work our way into the mix. So I was just kind of thinking a lot about that ARCA race where we ended up winning here last season. Here we are behind Honeycutt into turn number 3. He's going to jump down in that 45 Nice Silverado to the inside, and Heim is in control. Kyle Busch in the field. There is some rumors potentially that NASCAR is considering letting the part-time drivers that have won actually be eligible inside the playoffs. We're not sure how it's going to go yet. Also known as, I'm going to run a poll for you guys to decide on how it's going to go in a community post following this episode. If the part-time winners of Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch should actually be eligible for the championship, or should we do the playoffs manually, how they would be with no part-time drivers. I'll have a poll up at the end of this video in the community post section. As we clear Grant Enfinger, and on just lap 3, we have gotten up to P6 here, battling door-to-door quite literally with William Sawalich. And as well, we did clear probation. Our probation has come to an end, thank goodness, as we've run down Kyle Busch now following Sawalich. Why don't I split 3 wide through the middle between these two now? 2-time Cup champion on my outside there in, 2015, 2019. Kyle Busch now, Sawalich to my inside. He's been full-time in Xfinity this season, having a respectable season now, and he has got no plans to move up to Cup. So we're hopefully going to be actually fighting against him again, just like we were in ARCA, but on the Xfinity grid next season, as we'll pass him for 4th. We passed Busch, we passed Sawalich. Now to the inside, a fellow Canadian, Stuart Friesen into turn number 3. This will get us hopefully into the top 3 running position. It's Heim and Riggs out front on the final lap of the stage. We clear the 52 of Friesen into turn number 1, and we are putting ourselves in position to be a threat to win this race. It is very much happening as we roll through 1 at a turn 2. Friesen, he's right on my back bumper. Will he give us a nice bump draft here down the back straightaway? Not quite close enough. Come into the green-white checkered. Heim takes stage 1 over Riggs, who of course wants to get to victory lane still. We end up P3, but honestly, I think we got a shot at this one here today. So we just got to be smart and, like I said, methodical. Everyone's going to pit for 4 tires and feel and get ready to go green for stage number 2. Overall, the handling of the truck felt pretty good with that as well. It kind of seemed to be freeing up a little bit as the laps were going on, so that was something I was keeping in mind that we're going to have to be a little bit careful of. Daniel Hemrick gains a spot in the pits there, moves himself up into the 9th position. Stage number 2, underway here from Michigan International Speedway now as we pass by both the American and Canadian flags in the infield. This is the track that's pretty well closest to me as a Canadian. It's about a 5.5 hour drive or so. Watkins Glen also is a very similar length of drive, so I always look at Michigan and Watkins Glen. Since Canada, of course, is not on the schedule, I always look at Watkins Glen and Michigan as the closest I can possibly get to home races. So Michigan and Watkins Glen always mean a little bit more to me when we race at those racetracks. Now, Watkins Glen, we haven't won at yet, but we have the win here in ARCA. Could we get a truck win here? We also have Watkins Glen coming in the next episode. It would be awesome to go get a win there as well as we exit turn 4 down this front straightaway. We have solidified ourselves in the 3rd position now as we come through to the start-finish line, and as we exit turn 4, lap 3 coming to 4 of 7 in stage 2, and Heim, Riggs, myself, we have all kind of pulled away from everybody, and now we're putting some pressure on that Love's Ford F-150 for Front Row Motorsports. It's game on. Riggs is just as fast as Heim, and I'm just as fast as both of them as well as we continue to fight on this outside. Now right to the back of the 11 Safe Light Tundra into turn number 3. The Tricon driver that's dominated the season continues to lead now, but myself and Riggs continue to hound each other for the 2nd position, but none of us are really willing to give up, and we continue just running this higher lane to build up this momentum coming to the final lap of stage number 2. And hold on, we've got a heck of a run here to the outside of the 11 of Heim into turn 1 on the final lap of stage number 2. Could we maybe steal it into turn number 1? Running up the groove once again. I might have gone too high that time though. I think I did. I kind of screwed that one up, and that's going to allow Heim to easily clear. We should get a run nonetheless down the back straightaway to at least fight with the 34 of Lane Riggs. Yes, we do. Down this backstretch and into 3 and 4 again on the outside. Not going to be enough for 2nd. It looks like a P3 is what we'll have to settle for here in stage number 2. Corey Heim's going to take the stage win. Side draft right at the line. P3 in stage 2. So stage 1 and 2, same result, and I feel like we're going to see the same thing here in stage 3. I think us 3 can once again drive away. Kyle Busch up to P4. We're going to pit for tires and fuel once again, and we'll see what the fuel situation is here. We've gotten a few races that are really close on fuel. We gained a spot actually and past Lane Riggs, are promoted now to the front row. Chandler Smith beats Kyle Busch out of the pit lane as well. Stage 3 officially underway here from Michigan, and now we join the Tricon number 11, Corey Heim, on the front row, and I feel like this is maybe the start of where we start to challenge him on a more regular basis now as we continue to get better and stronger with the, of course, equipment that Tricon has been lending us. They've been building our trucks as well. As we exit turn 2, Lane Riggs though is going to get clear down this back straightaway. We've got 11 laps to go in this race. Here comes Kyle Busch to my back bumper, gives us a bump draft, pushes me closer to that Ford F-150 of Lane Riggs into turn number 3 now, and we've got an opportunity to do the same thing we did in stage 2, kind of wash up the racetrack, use that higher lane, and hopefully battle it out here. But honestly, it wasn't really working, so it's like, okay, what do I want to do? But nonetheless, once again, we all start driving away from Kyle Busch and the rest of the pack, so it's pretty evident it's just us 3 that are the fastest trucks here today in Michigan. 5 laps of fuel in the truck, and we have still got, well, like 8 laps to go, so no one's really going to be able to stretch it today, fortunately. So this one's going to be pretty straightforward, but what's not straightforward is I lose it. I've wrecked myself on the inside. Kyle Busch catches a piece of it as well. Caution Zelt will be P4. Thank goodness you don't get sent to the back. We maintain our position of 4th, but I completely choked there trying to rip the inside, and that was the first time I'd really tried the bottom in a while, and I wrecked myself. So we would all pit for no tires and 1 can of fuel, and we're gonna restart in the 4th position and get back underway. So that was a costly error because, especially with no tires being taken, I just wore my tires out, spinning myself out. So that's not going to make things any easier as well. We're in the low 80% on tire life into turn number 1, and now we all have enough fuel to go to the end, but obviously I did not want that to happen. I was pretty happy with the way things were looking, but I had realized I wasn't really making much ground running higher up the racetrack to pass Lane Riggs, so I wanted to, of course, try something different, and we had tried something different. We went down to the bottom, and obviously it did not work out. We're going to keep fighting as Lane Riggs has actually dropped down to 3rd. Kyle Busch is up into 2nd, and he's going to battle with Heim for the lead, and I am again going to battle with that 34 of Lane Riggs. We've got the draft from the 7, and that will allow me to clear the 34 into P3. Honestly, now that we've gotten Riggs out of here, maybe we have a chance to actually win this race, but hold on. I just cannot get the grip, cannot get the truck to turn, and Riggs is going to fight back up my inside. So as we exit turn 2, I realized, well, that was a very short-lived kind of dream. And now Riggs clears me through 3 and 4, coming to the final couple of laps in this race. So I would decide, okay, let's just try and stick with the 34 here, and maybe actually like push him into the corners down the straightaways. And by the final lap, it's actually gotten us up to the back of Kyle Buschenheim, and then I would put myself in the wall and screw myself over. I mean, we weren't going to fight for the win anyways, but it's all Corey Heim at this point. But I hurt myself a chance at maybe stealing 3rd from Riggs. But as we head down the back straightaway, settling in, it's not going to be a win. It's a step in the right direction. I mean, P4. And yeah, I mean, I feel like we are going to go into Pocono and have a decent chance maybe there to run well, hopefully, as we get close again to the 34, but just not enough. Corey Heim is going to take it. We go from spinning out to still maintaining a 4th place result. Heim with another win. 4th place for us. Kyle Busch in 2nd. Lane Riggs in the 3rd position. Not terribly disappointed, but I obviously would have really liked to win here in Michigan. But we're just gonna have to focus in on going into Pocono and see what we can maybe do there. So we make $34,000 from that top 5, and we got a new potential sponsor of University Technical Institute if we finish in the top 4. Also, we would actually pick up some tools to give our team some more work points here, and we would buy a new level 6 engine to put on the level 6 truck that we have worn out all the parts on. So we had to buy a level 6 engine, we had to buy a level 6 body as well, but we don't have enough for anything else. So we're going to have to run, unfortunately, not a fully upgraded level 6 truck for Pocono, but hopefully we can afford it in the next race. We have the level 6 suspension still, but we had to run a lower level body. So we have a level 6 engine, suspension, and chassis still on this truck for Pocono. The body is a lower level, but hopefully if we run well here, we can get a level 6 body on the truck and be right back to where we were. We qualified P16. Not exactly what I was hoping for here. I don't really expect to be a threat in Pocono. We've never driven in Pocono in NASCAR 25, so I didn't really have high expectations, but I do think we can at least get a top 10 out of this as we'll get ready to head to the racetrack here from the Tricky Triangle. Not sure what to expect with the AI. I haven't really seen the way they race. This is literally my first look at Pocono in NASCAR 25 as we kick things off here. Now the long straightaway in towards turn 1. The Miller Tech 200 is underway. It's 5 laps of racing in this first and opening stage as we now get cleared by the 71 of Rajak, who had just announced, of course, he's going to be driving for Junior Motorsports for the majority of the season in 2026. So big congratulations to him as we are actually going to fight back on the exit of turn 1. What a run we just had on that 2nd lane to the outside of Andres Perez, as there you got Connor Mozak in front of us as well, and the 15 of Tanner Gray. Now as we head towards the tunnel turn at the end of Long Pond straightaway now, and got ourselves actually feeling pretty confident immediately now as I can make this 2nd lane work, which is, oh, hold on, we've got trucks in the wall, we have to check up there. Gray, the 98 of Majeski caught the wall into turn 3. I think Enfinger as well. That's weird. I believe that's going to be a bug because they should obviously not just be driving in the wall down a straightaway. So I think we have found a potential bug here in Pocono now. And again, look, Majeski's in the wall again down the front straightaway. He gets out of it eventually and gets back to speed. But obviously that is an issue nonetheless. So that's not what we want to see. But I mean, it helped me out. So I guess it works for me right there in that specific instance now as we are rolling through turn 3, passing the 81 of Mozak, but he would actually fight back alongside me, but we would clear him through turn number 1. Now up into the 11th position as we continue on at this point to lap 3 of 5, and now to the inside of Gio Ruggiero as we exit turn 3, and we are rolling. We really have some speed here into the top 10. Turn 3 is a very big strong point for this car right now. I mean, we're absolutely ripping through the final part of this racetrack, so I'm feeling pretty good about our chances here as we continue on. So now to the back of Kyle Larson with 2 to go in the stage, and I mean, even Kyle Larson Larson can't hold me back. Here I go to the inside of the 07, and up front it's actually the 7 of Kyle Busch. In front, in control of this race as we head down the long straight here. Final lap in stage 1, we clear Larson into turn 1. I think we got a shot to run really well here, because now to the back of Daniel Hemrick now. We'll give him a little shot down Long Pond and give him a nice push towards the trunk in front, which is Caden Honeycutt. And as we came through turn 3, it's going to be Kyle Busch taking stage 1. We're to the inside of Hemrick, and we've gone from 16th to 8th in stage number 1 in 5 laps, and I am feeling very confident. I don't think we've got a truck maybe that's capable of winning, but we have very much so got a top 5, top 4 truck. If we finish top 4, we will get that new sponsor there, so that's something we of course want to accomplish. We're going to pit for 4 tires and fuel and get ready to go green for stage number 2. Overall, this has been a pretty solid series of races that we've had today. If we can continue this here in Pocono now, as we're going to be restarting row 4 outside lane alongside Caden Honeycutt. Green flag is back out now, and we'll head down the long straight towards turn number 1. Can Kyle Busch continue to dominate in this early portion of this race here from the tricky triangle, or can Corey Heim maybe get him? Lane Riggs is up there as well in the conversation. Can I get myself up there in the conversation? You guys know I would love to have a hand in this one now, as we'll clear Larson again. He tried to show the nose to the inside. I kind of run a little bit higher there to get this kind of run, but then I actually drive straight into the back of the 19, so it halts my momentum. Here comes Ruggiero to give me a push here down Long Pond now, and we'll suck up to the back of the 9 of Enfinger, who's alongside Honeycutt. It's 2x2 into the tunnel turn, go a little bit wide there, but fortunately able to get it slowed up enough to get back in line and hold a decent apex there. So now we got Enfinger again in the outside wall, and I believe Chandler Smith maybe caught it, but Enfinger is the one that pays the price. So we clear Enfinger, and now we're up into P7 as we as well get the 19 of Hemrick there through turn 1. So next up is Caden Honeycutt here. Can we pass the number 45 as we roll out of turn 3? Coming to lap 3. Here's a move to the inside of him. We continue to move forward, and now we've got our sights set on Chandler Smith as well as Stuart Friesen. Stuart Friesen having a great run here in Michigan and Pocono. We clear the 45 and move ourselves up into the 6th position. Kyle Busch continues to lead the way over Lane Riggs and Corey Heim. Big shot to the back bumper. Thank you, Caden Honeycutt, now as we head in towards the tunnel turn, and we're very well by the end of this lap going to have a chance to enter the top 5 here, coming to 2 laps to go in stage number 2. As we head into turn 1, we're right on the back of Friesen. I decide I'm going to run a little bit higher, trying to carry some momentum, as Himes now passing the 34 of Riggs for the 2nd position. As we exit turn 1, not as much of a run as I was hoping to pick up, so instead of trying to pass the 52, we're just going to give him a shove to the back bumper right here, down into the tunnel turn. And as we head into turn 3, now an opportunity to go around the outside here. I love that even in Pocono, you can get up on this higher lane and make it work. Look at the run we got to the bank of Smith. He shuts the door. I was going to say chop my nose. Shuts the door. 1 lap to go here in stage 2. We'll push the 38 down the front straightaway towards turn number 1. Can't quite clear Friesen as we head down Long Pond. Out of 1 though, we do clear the 52, and I'm going to continue to push this 34 down towards the tunnel turn. Friesen pushes me as well, and now as we come up to the end of stage 2, we're setting ourselves up brilliantly for stage number 3. Kyle Busch is in control over Heim, but Corey Heim is right on his back bumper, and as we come through out of the tunnel turn for the final time, another shot to the back bumper. We got to take it. We go to the inside. Heim's looking to the inside of Kyle Busch, who shuts the door as well. As we roll through 3, we should clear the 38 on the exit of the corner. Maybe not quite. Yes, we do clear him. Kyle Busch will take the first 2 stages, and we go from 16th to 8th in stage 1, from 8th to 4th in stage number 2. An absolutely fantastic start to this race here in Pocono, and I'm hopeful that we can keep going further here in stage 3, and all of a sudden we've kind of entered an unexpected potential to kind of win this race. We're going to pit for 4 tires and fuel again, and hopefully it's not an awkward fuel situation. It is an awkward fuel situation. We've got 8 laps of fuel, and it's 10 laps in stage number 3, so it is going to be close. Someone might try to stretch this, but nonetheless, let's wait and see. Green flag is out. Stage number 3 underway. Kyle Busch, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, myself. Now 10 laps to go, 8 laps of fuel, It's going to be close now as we get hopefully a shove. Not going to get a push here down into turn 1. Here comes Chandler Smith now. Going to be dead even into turn 1 with myself up the inside. He'll clear us in. Even the 45 Honeycutt just really can't wait for them to fix the slow start issue in this game. I get questions like every episode. Are you using like automatic transmission? No, I'm not using automatic transmission. I'm using manual. It's a bug in the game. They are aware of it. It is not a me issue, as I've been told many times from the team themselves. They are very aware of it as we roll through the tri-oval, the tunnel turn, and we're on the outside of the 45 of Honeycutt here on the run into turn number 3. And there you see up front Kyle Busch still in command over Riggs and Heim. Now he has led every lap. He's won all the stages. We clear the 45 on the exit of 3, have a big run down the front straightaway, and we'll look to the inside of Smith into turn number 1. We'll clear him through turn 1 into the top 4, meeting our sponsor goal for a new sponsor. Of course, our current sponsor goal is just top 10, and now we're in the conversation to maybe fight for a victory here in Pocono with less than 10 laps to go. 6 laps of fuel in the truck into the tunnel turn, right to the back of the 11 and the 34. We peek to the left rear of Heim down the short chute into turn number 3. Kyle Busch loves what he sees behind him, some constant battling, and it would continue. Riggs on the inside of the 11. We overshoot turn 1. Up the racetrack we go. Here comes Chandler Smith back into the conversation. He peeks up the inside now as we go down Long Pond, and he's probably going to be able to clear us through the tunnel turn. He has the preferred lane. He does clear now. Kyle Busch can't get away from anybody at this point. It's a 5-truck race for victory, I feel like, here in Pocono now, as Heim and Riggs run themselves down the track a little bit further. Riggs is to the inside of Kyle Busch. We have a competitor for the lead here in Pocono. Smith is trying to pit in front of me. He's trying to pit, and he's going to wreck himself. I had nowhere to go. No warning he was pitting until my spotter calls out he's pitting already after I'm running into the back of him. Caution's out. We're all going to pit for fuel. No tires, I don't think. The tires were not really worn, so we all only take fuel, and Chandler Smith drops to P7. He did like a 360 and saved it and continued on, and I had no warning he was pitting, so that eliminates green flag pit stops and gives us a 4-lap sprint. So we're going to have, no green flag pit stops in today's episode, I guess. I'm sorry about that, but I had no warning that Chandler Smith was going to come into the pits, and usually you kind of get told they're pitting. I didn't get told he was pitting until I was already driving in the back of him, and I was really caught off guard about what was happening there. But nonetheless, we are 3 wide on the exit of turn 1. Not a good restart whatsoever, and we would fight back to the outside here through turn number 3 and get ourselves back into the top 5. Friesen into the wall on the exit of the corner. We look to the inside, barely missed him, and now we're side by side with Smith. Heim's back out in front after the restart over Riggs and Kyle Busch. Smith clears us into turn number 1 as we come to 2 laps to go. Kyle Busch clear of the 34. Heim driving away. I dive up the inside of the 38 into turn 1 with an opportunity to get clear and potentially get ourselves back into that 4th position. We're not going to clear them, though, on the exit of turn 1, unfortunately, so we're going to have to continue to battle this out coming to the final lap of this race. Into turn number 3, we were side by side all the way through the tunnel turn. Finally clear of Chandler Smith. 1 lap to go here from Pocono Raceway, and an interesting race. Unfortunately, honestly, I thought we would have a little bit stronger of a truck up front, but I mean, we climbed from 16th to 4th, and it just kind of stalled out about here as we head down into turn 1 for the final time, and Corey Heim has a very, very comfortable lead. Smith's actually going to fight to my outside here as we're going to roll through the exit. We'll re-clear him, so he has a great corner entry, but I have a better exit, keeping myself out in front. He's going to give us a push one more time here down the Long Pond straightaway to the back of the 34 of Lane Riggs, and we get to the back of Riggs here coming out of the tunnel turn. Can we make a move into turn 3? We might be able to steal 3rd now as we get a shot from the back here from Smith one more time. That gives me enough to get alongside the 34. We'll clear him on the exit of turn 3. We'll steal it from Riggs. It gives us a shot on the exit of the corner, loosens me up, and Heim wins in Pocono. Kyle Busch hangs on for 2nd. We hang on for the 3rd position. Overall, a solid series of races here in today's episode, but still, we have to win, and we haven't done that. Next episode is going to be the perfect opportunity. We do get Universal Technical Institute as a sponsor for a few races, but we've got 2 road courses in the next episode at Lime Rock and the Watkins Glen circuit. So I am hopeful we can pull that off. We did an actual international appearance here with NASCAR, and we actually gained $4,500 with it. But that's going to do it for this episode. We are going to buy a level 6 chassis now as well. That goes onto the car, or on the truck. I think I said we had a level 6 chassis instead of body earlier. It was the other way around. But there you see the point situation. We've still got some work to do. Grant Enfinger, Chandler Smith, Lane Briggs, the only ones in on points. We've got to win, and I am confident it's coming in the next episode. I'll see you guys then, where we take on some road courses. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.